Okay, I thought it might be fun to go through some of the artwork that I've done over the years for the general store and show you sort of the process of how it was put together. First one is for the album Local Honey, which came out in 2002 on Not Lame Recordings, but it was actually recorded in 2000. A lot of the time when I'm working on album projects, the artwork tends to start happening maybe midway through the process, so I never leave it till after the album's finished. I try and get some ideas going beforehand. When I'd finished Local Honey, I didn't really have any plans to put it out. I thought it was quite personal and was a bit nervous about playing it to people, but my flatmate Dave Morrison heard it and said, you really need to get this out to people. So he really gave me the encouragement to take it to the next step and actually help me get it to a couple of people who were able to take things further. So this was the beginning of it. This was an image I found in an old book. I wish I could remember the book, and I just reversed the negative just on a photocopying machine. So this was the front cover image, the back cover image. This is obviously the tray. If I bring the actual thing in, the tray is just sort of a stretched image. I don't know what I would have done. I think what I would have done as the machine was copying, I would have slightly moved the master copy, this master copy, so you get this elongated version. And then as you can see here, this is one of the, in fact, this was the first one I think I ran off. I printed it onto parchment paper because I just felt it suited the whole general store idea, the sort of Western, Americana, and it feels good, and it just looks much nicer. The image, I think, is more striking than if it was in black and white. But then as time went on, I started to develop the idea a bit more, and then I think I was staying at my mum's one time and I started putting together this idea of a collage. So this is actually what became the album We Know and Love. So there's this sort of finished CD version there, and this was the original collage I did for it, which the idea being that it was a bedspread. This is actually based on a bedspread that I used to have when I was a kid, and it was all patchwork and different designs on each patchwork, and I wanted to recreate that thing for this album cover. So what can I tell you about this? Well, there's all sorts of things that are kind of related to the album, and family things, and the lips and this eye are actually belong to the woman who was the muse behind this album. I don't feel I should mention her name in case she doesn't want me to, so I'll keep it quiet. And then there's a little frame with some hearts on it. There's one little broken heart on it, because the whole album is kind of really sort of detailing the sort of breakup between us. It was about trying to find a way through it for me. That's why the album was made in the first place. Yes, on this one you can see the date is February 2002, which seems bizarre to me because that's like nearly 2 years since I recorded the record. So yeah, interested. And it says February 2002, BOA Brighton. That would have been Bradford-on-Avon, where my mum was living at the time. So I would have started it at her house in Bradford-on-Avon and then taken it back to Brighton and finished it. There's a picture of my dad's parents there, the picture of Oliver there, my brother, and you can't quite make it out here, but there's a little picture of Dave Morrison, who was the guy that I was sharing the flat with at the time I made the album, and he was the guy, as I say, that encouraged me to take it to the next step. I don't think it would have happened without him, and I don't think it would have happened without the mystery lady. So I have to thank the two of them for what they brought to the album, which was really just kick-starting the whole process. And there's a picture of my great-grandfather there. It's just a photograph I've always really loved. Colour didn't turn out quite as I wanted it to. All the tones here, everything's just a bit richer to me, whereas if you look on the actual CD, it's more of a green tint and looks a bit washed out, but that's not how it should have been. So, out of interest, the original idea, once I'd made the bedspread, was, just shift this out the way for a second, this. So you have a young Tam underneath the bedspread. The front sleeve is probably better explained once you open up, or rather turn the booklet over, and you see the back sleeve, which clearly, you know, it's not exactly the same as the front, but you get an idea. Oh, it's obviously a bedspread. You know, there's a guitar leaning up against the bed, some sort of gigantic bean bag there. That's a good name for a wrestler, gigantic bean bag. But again, you know, the two are obviously part of the same thing, and I like that. And then, sort of by 2002, once Not Lame had agreed to license the album, we ended up with this one. So there you go.